Hi everyone. Today is what day is today? I'm not sure. Uh it's Sunday, mm, maybe the 26th of October of Sunday. This morning I want to film a video for a long time because I got one new subscribers. Thank you for subscribe. And yeah, so I think it's out of time to film a new videos to say thank you. Today's topic will be more about finance, about how to allocate your family's asset and how to invest, the bottom logic and the mentalities. So yeah, number one is why. So there is always a question of why you should do something. Uh, so why we investment is to against the inflations. Everyone knows the government now trying to borrow a lot too much money to support their operations, um, and also they kind of maintain a quite a good inflation rate. So the currency is devalued. That's why you should put all your kind of fiat currencies to asset, although the asset is controlled by the government as well. But you can invest in different market and just invest to the market that outperform of the inflations. For me, I would suggest three kind of product. Number one is the US stock market, and number two is the blockchain and bitcoins, and number three is the what is number three? Oh, number three is gold, the kind of a old kind of a fashioned asset. So yeah, so that's why we kind of need to invest to keep our monies, to keep what we earned by working, by exchange our time and attentions, the money to the true valued item, instead of you know being depreciated by the time and inflations. Using the time to increase what you have earned instead of decrease. And number two is the a logic and the fundamental of investment. So a lot of people watching the video here probably are doing the ordinary work, exchange your time and skills for monies, and then you spend it for cost of livings and for entertainment. That's most of people are doing. So the mentality of investment is quite a different mentality. Number one is you have to build your values of the work. The foundation of investment is your values. So you have to have a standard to um, evaluate or value different things. Like if something gonna have a value for long term, short term, which one have uh, a better value than other stuff. And then number two is based on your standard, trying to uh, find the values in the find the object or product that could have a huge values in the future, but at the moment, people kind of a majority people still haven't kind of see the values. So, for example, why is the AI and tech companies now is so kind of overly hit and over invest? Is because you know the values of AIs and the technologies in the future is huge and is outperformed the old asset, which is properties. The property for last 10 or even 20 years have a huge growth, but there also a by effect of people being trapped by the concrete box and uh, the people who have the house, obviously they have a dream life, and the people who don't have a house, which is young people's, uh, it's very difficult because most of their earning kind of goes into the rent, uh, and all their salaries is only kind of enough for paying the rent and their livelihood. So they stop giving birth to children, and they um, stop kind of working hard because they found it's no point. So yeah, and the government really want to shift that mentalities. So you can see a lot of countries have been released new laws for rental market to make the rental markets are more kind of towards the renter instead of lean towards the land to protect the landlord. I think that will be the future as well. I think more and more people will just renting instead of um, buying a house. I mean, I'm not saying the house value will goes down, but the increase of the properties will be slowed down. And when you minus the increase of inflations, the return, yeah, the return of that asset is probably not as big or as good as invest the American Stock Exchange or Bitcoins or gold. So at the moment, the gold is still quite strong, and the Bitcoin is because the devaluations of dollars, because the dollar, so all the currencies in the world are anchored on dollars, and dollar are used to anchored with gold, but in 1970s or something 1970s that Nixon's have unhooked the gold standards to dollars, uh, and then make the dollar to be the anchor currencies to all the currencies. All the currency is like printed or released based on the kind of the their inventory or their kind of holding of America debt, like America bond. It's the same things, America debt and America bond. And how did America did that is number one, they hooked with Arabic kind of oil, petrols and the diesels, this like oils. Uh, but there is kind of what is called the crisis of oils in like 80s or 90s. I think the oil price it just suddenly goes so high, and there is economy crisis happened, and and then the war in kind of Middle East just become more and more, uh, and until the terrorist of you know what America said terrorists kind of blow up the the World Trade Building in America, the 9/11 accident happened. America kind of decided to unhook the dollar with the oil, and hook the dollar with the Chinese productivities, like the product good. So you can see the fundamental is America acting as a role of printing money and give the liquidity of the market to kind of exchange. So dollar is the currency that actually the only currency are actually holding the values. If dollar goes down, all the other currency will goes down. That's why I suggest to invest in America Stock Exchange market as well, because that is all the fundamental kind of financial product was derived even now. So yeah, that is the background stories of dollars. So now is talking about number one, why we should invest. How. Now is what. Why is already said. How. So you need to understand. When you buy a share, a stock and share, you are buying part of that companies. So your mentality have to be kind of that kind of mentalities. It For me, it doesn't matter about the financial statement or PE or ROE, because a company is run by people, and the myself is accountant background, so all the papers and the documentations could be manipulated, or even it not being manipulated. When you get the document, it's already passed by a lot of people, and the informations could be wrong, and it could be kind of a deliberate wrong when it come to you. So when you have a mentality of buying a share is owning part of that companies, you are owning kind of concentrate on two elements. Number one, think about 10 years, 30 years, or 50 years. Is this company still going to be exist? Is this company still going to be creating values and maintain the competence of that companies? So for me, when you think about that, is gonna be, for some sectors. Number one is power and energies. Obviously, the electricity and the oil will last for 50 years. Number two is the advertisement industry. So Facebook, Google's, well, definitely, or even Microsoft. Well, Microsoft is more about computers. So people will still use computers, or if they don't use Windows systems, they probably use other systems. So number one is thinking if this company can last long. And number two is the momentums. So momentums is a word of mathematics, but it can be used for investing as well. So if this company can, continues keep the competence and creating enough value to keep the momentums of keeping generate cash flow. Yeah, so just this two, if you kind of choosing companies, just this two. this is for kind of a like a value investment. So when you are ordinary people or you don't want to take too much risk, so investor stock and shares is not really have a risk, um, because with the three mentalities I just mentioned before. Number one, buying a stock is owning part of company. Number two is this company last long. Number three is this company can keep the upwards momentums. With this three standard uh, implanting when you choose the stock and shares, it's very difficult for you to lose money. The only kind of issue is maybe the company you choose not make as quick as other companies when you doing the investment. So yeah, so this is basically the value invest the value investors like Warren Buffett kind of a C series. By the way, I don't believe that kind of stuff. I think Warren Buffett is more of actors than investors. Well, this is another kind of topic. So that's the stock and shares. Mm, I only invest in America Stock Exchange is because so for the last so far America Exchange will give you the most return anyway. If you see 30, 50 years of S&P and the Nasdaq index, it always goes up. So yeah, it's really kind of a low risk, unless one day everyone don't use dollars and everyone don't kind of trust American armies. Yeah, and by the way, so what the dollar is backed, the fundamental back of the money is the military powers of the U.S. armies. So unless China and America had a war and China defeat America, I generally don't think China will make the Chinese yuan to be the foundation currencies of the world. Yeah, so that's the stock and shares. And number two is Bitcoins. Why Bitcoins? Because a lot of people think that just a bunch of shit and it basically don't create any values and it's a scam scheme. But think about values of any object that can you think have values. Basically, Bitcoin have kind of a matching three elements of everything have values. Number one is the limit availabilities. So there is limitations of the total kind of volume of Bitcoin, same as gold. The gold, is very hard to get in more unless you find another planet. Well, that's in the future. If you find another planet that have a full of gold, then I think the gold price will goes down. But just for the for Earth, the gold is even harder than diamonds to form that kind of material. So number one is there's a limited of total amount which Bitcoin have, and number two is what is number two? Number two is easy to carry. So even with the even with the gold, when it's preserve the values, is actually a physical object. It is small enough for you to kind of restore a big amount of monies and values in such a tiny small pieces, which is good. But Bitcoin is even more. Is something that not even exists. It's just a branch of informations that holding the values. You can literally kind of carry nothing. Well, you can still carry the cold money. No, the cold wallet. For what? For carry the bitcoins. Yeah, so it's very easy to carry and transfer a huge values. Number three, what is number three? Number three is actually I had just mentioned the usefulness. So a lot of people say that Bitcoin don't create any values. I think that's for most ordinary peoples. That for you, Bitcoin not creating a lot of values. But for example, for us, if we need to do kind of foreign currency exchange or making transfer to a person in another countries with a big amount, there's a lot of fees and risk of stopped by the government or stole by some kind of illegal persons. But Bitcoin have avoid that. So number one, the fee will be is very low and it, nearly to zero. And number two is you can't stop it because the government can't stop it because the the actually money is not exist. The money is actually just a bunch of informations. As long as you know the password and the security questions, you will get the and the computers you will get the money. So it's very kind of difficult to get the anti-money laundering kind of bullshit for the government to steal your money. So that's why the Bitcoin have such a big demand for rich people to store the values. And you know there's still not a lot of people kind of involved with that kind of involved with Bitcoins, but you can see now one Bitcoin is about £82,000. Just imagine in the future there will be more and more people kind of embrace blockchain and Bitcoins. The value can only goes up, and the people said it could go up to 1 million or 2 millions. Yeah, it's possible because unless there's a significant reduce of populations, I didn't see there's a way or anything could stop the Bitcoin goes up. Yeah, because uh, people have already have that kind of a belief. Yeah, that's about finance. So finance is more invest. I mean, it's more about investment. Investment is more about belief and expectations instead of what already happened. If people believe or expect something will goes up, And if there's enough people buying that stuff, something will, really goes up because uh, the demand getting more, and the exist kind of stock had a limit. That's why for investment, the number one important things is build your value standard, your value systems, and then you can evaluate everything and really truly think what things will increase values in the future, and build your expectations and believe your expectations. That's very important, because a lot of people come to the invest world, they just, listen to other people, or, listen to kind of news or newspapers. So think about that. And then if when the actually things they bought goes down, or actually the things don't give much return, they just give up, they sold it, either make a loss or make just a tiny little profit. I think for me, from my experience of invest for 10 years, the most kind of people who make the money is just by hold, by give the give the stock a chance to grow, give the job to the time, instead of working hard by yourself. Yeah, that's why investment is such a different kind of a mentality that I'm working. Because for ordinary work, the more you work, so most of people's work are calculated by time. Most of people, you know, are thinking about increase their revenues and income by increase the efficiency of their job, about how to make more bread, for example, how to make more bread in 1 hours, so they can make more money. But for investment, or for the overall of our universe, it's not really like that. So it's more about finding the gap, and fulfill the gap of the demand and the need, and by doing that, you creating values. So it depends on how valuable of that gap is. That's will be, when you solve it, that will be the returns you will have. So for example, there is a gap of making quantum computers, because we want to have a more powerful calculation machines. There is also a need in your communities for kind of a Chinese restaurant, or for bakeries. So both of this gap can make you monies, but the gap of demand of a better computer is kind of a bigger gap, because that gap will fundamentally, eventually benefit the whole human beings. That's number one. And number two is, it will impact all traditional industries, or it's even going to generate new industries that make billions of trillions of create trillions of business. So fulfill that gap definitely will bring you much more than just open a community restaurant, because you know how many people in your communities. Number one, that is limited, and number two is um, open that restaurant. You can't promote other industry. Okay, you can maybe for the nearby market you will buy supplies from them, um, but that's all. That's all. That's why we are in the era of kind of technology and digital, because um, these are not a tangible item. It's not a physical items. So the imaginations is unlimited. So the imagination for intangible asset is unlimited as well. Yeah, so now for investment, I would recommend to invest some companies are doing kind of intangible asset, i.e., information kind of industry or AI, because imaginations of human brain is unlimited, so the stock price will be unlimited, because once people started dreaming, they they will dream like a lot. Even like a bunch of stupid people can push up the stock price, because they believe it. They believe it will give them a huge return. And during this kind of process, if you join them, don't think you are the most cleverest people in the world. If you join them with the momentums of that kind of stock, you will be, getting the benefit and returns of that as well. Yeah, that's the Bitcoin. And number three is the gold. Well, gold is kind of a similar as the uh Bitcoins. It's a traditional way of reserve the values. So money is not what money is, kind of a currency in your countries, because your government have guns and you have police systems. So the money and the currency are basically a tax, or basically kind of basically a paper that you bow down to your government, you bow down to the people who actually control the force of the regions. So the organizations or peoples who owns the armies under the police, the violence, the violence kind of department. It is very funny that the media is keep saying that we don't promote violence, we don't promote you know killings, and about um, the kind of way of they saying. But if you think the true power, the true kind of a fundamental power is come from the two things. Number one is the violence you can create. The you know your if you can you know protect, you can you don't have to conquer other country, or you don't have to rob other people or other countries, but at least you need to have a force to protect yourself when other people trying to, you know, rob you. So that is the reason the army exists. That's the violence part. So the fundamental of getting the wealth is violence. Even you have a lot of money, or even you have this what you have a lot of positions and properties. If one day America said you are terrorist, or you are involved with kind of a international fraud case, even you didn't, all of your monies and your positions will be taken away, um, because uh, you don't have the armies or the group of organizations or people that uh, protecting you, protect your wealth. So yeah, so that's why I won't tell my children to avoid violence or anything, because of course you will tell them to don't you know deliberate to hurt other people, or taking other people's things, but fundamentally you need to have the mentality of the ultimate wealth is created by force and violence. Even for America, how America get to be the superpower of the world is by involved with World War One and World War Two, by kind of physically um, physically kind of I would say murder or assassinate of the leaders or the countries that against them. Think about Iraq, Afghan, Libya, Syria, all these countries, or even now, China and the Russians, they are doing the same things. This is talk too far away. So yeah, so American Stock Exchange, Bitcoins, and gold will be what will be the best kind of item to protect your wealth. And the numbers, the last I want to say is, you will never lose your money if you don't sell. You only lose money uh, when you sell at a loss. So because you already bought some kind of you know some stock or things with values, that things will have a values, but the volatilities, the change of the price on the stock market is ordinary, is normal. So um, when the stock goes down or goes to very low, it could be some big account try to create panic, but you will never. So the stock is just a paper. The paper have the values, but the values have different. Uh, the values can exchange different amount of money by a different time of occasions. I don't know if this explanation is clear or not. Um, so you will never lose your values if you don't sell, but you will increase or decrease your wealth by selling in a different time. So I would suggest only sell it if it's necessary. If you generally don't have enough money to maintain your daily life and your cash flow, so you sell some stock and shares that you know don't make a loss. So that's why I would suggest you invest less than 15, but more than 5 different sectors or different companies. So in the different kind of a period of occasions, um, they have a different kind of value judgment systems. So, for example, sometimes the oil industry is doing very well, but tech is not doing well, or sometimes the bank is doing well, the bank industry is doing well, but not the oil industry. This word is a big. There's a lot of kind of organizations, and a different period, the different organizations are stand for the most valuable sectors. The medical. There's some big one, like the medical, the militaries, the energies, the the information, the tech, the luxury market, a lot of industries. So invest more than 5, less than 15 to less than 15 is because you want your money to be concentrated to the company that can bring you the most of the money. If you just invest one, sometimes if you really need to sell this stock and shares, but you know you have no choice to sell at a low price, right? So and number two is you lose your money. So number one is you lose the money when you sell in the wrong time. Number two is how you're making the money. You're making the money by when you buy it. So my kind of opinion is quite different from other people. Is you lose and making money at the same time when you sell something, but that is not true for investment. So you actually making money for when you buy. If you buy in very good positions and the stock or any gold or Bitcoin value is relatively low, um, you will make more than the people who buying this asset in a relatively high price. Of course, it's all about price when you making the money, making the fiat money, like printed by the government. So be patient when you do buy the asset. Don't just be patient to wait for a low kind of entries. I mean, always keep surplus cash for reinvest when the stock price is high. Always kind of withdraw some surplus money, not withdraw to use it for living and entertaining, but just hold there for buying the dip of the stock and shares. Yeah, and I hope you had good investment journeys. And as another say of investment is there is never a better day than today to make your money work harder for you. Um, if you think something will increase 10 times or 20 times, it doesn't really matter of what's the price now, isn't it? Um, it's just all about your eyes or your brains to identify the things that could be kind of worth a lot of money in the future, and just don't sell it, just hold it for as long as you can, or even pass it to your children. As long as the momentum and the direction is correct, I believe you will, and you know you won't make a lot of money by doing stock and shares and investment. At least cover your daily life, and by that time you will have freedoms with your time, and when you have a freedom of your time, that is the really kind of time to be human beings, like really think about what you like, and what you truly want to do, what you want to put your time and your attentions, your emotions to do. Either spend time with your children, or goes to have a holiday with your wife, or with yourself, to do something you like, um, anything you like, because life is about experiencing. um, it's not, when you die, it's not the end of your life. um, it's just the end of this kind of experience. A lot of kind of people think life is about working hard, compete with other people's. um, that's is the kind of I mean, that's part of your experience. I would say you have to work hard and compete with other people, uh, getting better and better. Even investing is kind of a same. Um, is kind of the same for getting yourself better and better. But I would say life is not just about work. Life is about number one, find the gap, create values, uh, make a branch of money to get you financial free, so you get freedoms for your attention and your time. And then you will go to the next stage. You will open an invisible map of the game of your life. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Oh, how to stop?